Talk Nerdy. Another Talk Nerdy. Another day. Another weekend has come and gone. I don't know what to say. I'm so tired. I'm really tired. I wanted to take a nap today. I tried my best to just like lay down, shut my brain off, and take a nap. Like, even if it's like 15, 20 minutes, I didn't care. I wanted my body to just relax and nap. And I couldn't do it. I could not relax to the point where I was like in a good nap space. Like, I could not do it. I like, here's what I did. I went to my room and I laid down on my bed because I have the most comfortable bed in the world. It is so soft, so cozy. Okay. So many pillows. Like, I sleep with an ungodly amount of pillows, right? Like, I want to be surrounded by pillows. I want to feel suffocated when I sleep.
Heard that, chat.
So I tried to nap in my bed, which is so comfortable, and I couldn't fall asleep. Like, I could not get to that relaxation point. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the living room because like nothing beats a couch nap, right? You put on a show that you don't care about or a movie that you don't care about, and you sort of like listen to it, but you drown it out and you fall asleep. So I was like, nothing beats a good couch nap. Still couldn't do it. I could not fall asleep. I was like, okay, it's not going to happen today. I was trying to fall asleep for like an hour. I was trying to fall asleep.
You're going to nap like next week when it's on my channel. And I'm not going to hear from you until it's like almost time for the stream.
I was really trying to do it. I was like, okay, I'm going to lay down and get like this really I love like soft, cozy blankets. So I was like, I'm going to get like the softest blanket I have, which is a Slytherin one. Oh, it's so soft. And I was cuddling up. I even grabbed Harley because like ever since he was a puppy, I like napped with Harley. He used to sleep on my back when he was a puppy. He would always like jump up because he was this big. He was tiny and he would like climb up on my back and sleep on my back. Yeah. And then like as he got bigger and bigger, he moved from like my back to sleeping like right next to me on the couch. So I was like, okay, you know what? Nothing makes me sleep like more soothingly like than when I have my Harley with it, when I have my doggo. So I grabbed Harley. Georgie even jumped up and laid down on my stomach. And I was like, okay, this is perfect. I could not get comfortable. I could not do it. I could not nap. And it pissed me off. I was getting upset. I was like, okay, you know what? It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen. I was supposed to stream with Jay Hellstorm today. We were supposed to stream Chained Together.
That's a game that my sister wanted to play. Like, if we didn't play like the other game I was telling you about, I was like, that's great. Like, you know, as much as I love my siblings, I'm like, that would be rage inducing. I've seen
we had like a team of 4 set together, right? We had a team of 4, and then I was like, okay, what time? 5? All right, cool. Like, I was ready. That's when I was gonna nap. I was gonna nap between like the morning, because I woke up this morning like so groggy. Like I spent the weekend at the beach. Like I was gone relaxing at the beach all day. I came home with like a bunch of mosquito bites I didn't even know I had. So I've been like rubbing anti-itch cream all over me because I'm just like itching to high hell. Like I could not believe it. So like I spent 2 days at the beach, and so I woke up so groggy this morning. I was so tired because like that heat, yeah, like that's another. I think Maxfield is like that's just another level of tired. Like when you're out in the sun all day, like that's just
because it makes you tired. Because when I was in Guam, that's what happened, and I had to play interference with the first sergeant because this first sergeant had like a stick up his ass about everything. They're like basically the morale. I don't want to call them the morality police in the military, but that's kind of like what they are. And we came back from the beach, and we had been out there. The sun was hot, things like that, and like there had been like some beer drinking, and so I knew if this guy had seen my roommate, he would have assumed that she was like plastered, which she wasn't. It was like the heat combination sort of situation. So me and another guy basically ran interference for her. It's like, oh, we don't know where she is. Like we told her to hide in the bathroom, basically. Like, oh, we don't know where she is. Like she's not here. Like we're watching a movie, so it's like, no.
Yeah. Do I look more tan? I got tanned. Do I look bronzy? I got a nice tan. Mm-hmm. Like I know I got darker. I know I got darker. So I think I got a nice glow going on. But yeah, where I parked my stuff was like right across from a bar.
Of course. like you admit that like as if like it's shocking news to anyone.
No, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go try that bar. Like that bar looks awesome. I never did. Okay, here's the thing. I never did, right? I never went and tried I never went into the bar. I only used like the bathroom because I didn't want to use the porta potty. So I was like, I'm gonna buy a water. Can I use the bathroom? Mike Hill says, I think you look the same. Damn it. Dang. Well, I know. Trey says Wakanda style. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes,
yeah, I got darker. I know I did. I know I tanned up.
To stick up his ass about
I know I got a good tan. Nice and bronze.
Yeah.
But I usually anyways, I woke up so tired this morning for the stream. And when the stream was over, I finished my coffee and the coffee just made me tired. I actually heard that if you have ADD, coffee can make you sleepy. And I was thinking to myself oh, maybe that's why whenever I drink my coffee, there's some days where I'm just I'll drink it and I'm I'm supposed to be awake. Why? And I'll take a nap. It puts me to bed. Anyways, it puts me to sleep. But yeah, I was so tired. And I was talking to Jay Hellstorm. Jay Hellstorm was we'll stream at 5. So I was perfect. And I tried to nap and I couldn't nap. So, and then the stream got canceled because we were supposed to have a team of 4 and we couldn't get I guess someone dropped out. And so Jay Hellstorm was do you want me to teach you how to play Fortnite instead? So that's what we're doing now. Jay Hellstorm is going to teach me how to play Fortnite. I still really, really, really want to play Chain Together. Disbrew, let's play Chain Together. Just me and you. I still really want to play Chain Together. It looks so much fun. If you put sugar in your coffee, that can make you sleepy. I put a half a spoonful of sugar though. I don't put a lot of sugar in my coffee. Maybe I should just start drinking tea. I used to drink, I stopped drinking coffee for a while and I started drinking green tea. So maybe I should just go back to doing that. Green tea instead of coffee. But yeah, I spent the weekend at the beach, got back late. So I was really tired. But now I'm wide awake. That's what I'm talking about, Disbrew. 2 men. Uno dos. But yeah, Jay Hellstorm wants to teach me how to play Fortnite. He's going to make me the greatest Fortnite player in the world. So
I'm not saying anything.
We're going to do that. Mara wants me to play
You should play Pacify.
Yeah, she wants me to play a scary game called Pacified.
Yeah. It's not that scary. I mean, I jumped a couple times from the jump scares.
If you jumped, can you imagine me?
I wasn't scared. It was more oh shit. Fuck that little little girl's a pain in the ass.
If you jumped, no. All right. I had a long weekend. Tonight is the season 2 finale of House of the Dragon. I can't wait. I'm excited. I've got snacks ready. Okay, I've got my snacks ready to go. I have popcorn. I have a little bit of water. I have some not popsicles. What I'm talking about, lollipops. I'm ready. I'm ready for the finale. I'm ready. I'm so excited. Okay, but before that, hello, welcome to Talk Nerdy, Mara. How you doing?
I
went on a long tangent.
Yeah, because we skipped last week.
We did. We skipped last week because I was on
Simpcast.
Simpcast. That's right.
Yeah.
I went on Simpcast.
And then I was not able to do it the next day because I had a doctor's appointment.
I know, we were gonna do it on Monday, and Mara's like, "Yeah, sure." So we set aside a time, and then Mara texts me, "You're gonna hate me. I have a doctor's appointment." I was like, that's okay.
Because it was an appointment I made months ago that I completely forgot about until I got a text reminder. I'm like, don't be mad.
I'm not mad. I literally text Mara every single Sunday. What time is the stream today?
We did today too. Yeah. It's
what
on
time
her channel.
Do I set the stream up for today? Goldfish right here. Just
it's on her channel and she asked me what time
can never remember what time. Even this morning, the Saturday morning streams, I will set my alarm. My alarm is just set for Saturday mornings, or I'm sorry, Sunday mornings to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And I will look at Max's channel. I wait for him to put his thumbnail on, and I'll be or to put his stream up, and I'm like, okay, it starts in 30 minutes. I can never remember what time the stream starts. I'm horrible. So now I have a system, right? I put up a calendar and I put all the streams down with the times. So I know exactly. I'll never not know. Max is in
I'll believe it when I see it next week. But we skipped last Sunday. We weren't able to do it. Friday, I did a siblings hangout. We played the game Pacify, which is actually fun when you're playing with other people, in my opinion. It's an interesting game, and when you play it, you understand why they give you the title Pacify. And then yesterday I watched SummerSlam, so I got back into watching wrestling. So I was like hanging out on my Discord watching that event. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much it. It's like I don't have a system. I just text Mara. What time's the stream?
Every day. Every time I'm like, I'm sorry.
I
put my head down in shame when I text her. I'm sorry. What time's the stream?
It literally is that reel that you shared with me, where it's like in every bestie relationship, there's one with like a best memory in the world. I don't have the best memory, but I have a better memory than she does. She's the goldfish.
Yeah. I'm a goldfish. I can't remember anything. Can never remember times. I think Monday last week. I think was it last week or no? It was a Mario Kart stream. I think it was Mario Kart. I was like, I texted Krista because I always look at the times that they set their stream for to set the Rumble one. And I was like, do we have a stream today? Are we streaming? Because she texted me because she needed something. I was like, oh my God, am I late for the stream? It was like literally in the middle of the day. And I know that the stream is like after Cobra Cast. And I was like, she's like, hey, do you have this? And I was like, why? Is the stream right now? Am I late? It was like 5:30 in the afternoon. And she's like, no, you're not late. I was like, oh, okay. Oh my, yeah. It's just, I never know when.
It's like that dream where you're like you dream you're like, and you wake up like thinking like you're still in school and you miss the bus.
Oh, I had tons of dreams like that when I was in high school. I still have dreams like that. Like I'm running late.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get this party started.
Yes.
Because tonight is season finale Game of Thrones, and I have snacks, eating popcorn. All right, did you see this, Mara? Did you see it? Did you interact with this? Oh, by the way, quick tangent. Okay, Look, I know I am very well aware. Okay, I am 100% well aware that the series How I Met Your Mother is like 10 years old. Well, guess what? I just barely watched the entire thing, seasons 1 through 9. Okay, and I finished it. I put a lot of time into watching How I Met Your Mother, and it pissed me off last week. I was livid.
When it got to the point where you actually find out who the mother is.
Yes.
I think it generally ticked off a lot of people when
I was so mad. I was like, what is this? What is going on? Look, the series has been out for 10 years. Okay, so I'm going to let you know. The last episode blows. It does. All right. The mother is like so perfect for Ted. By the way, I love Ted. He's like this hopeless romantic. I absolutely love him. I absolutely love him. I was like, oh my gosh, I want him to find love. Like he is. I thought Barney was my favorite character, right? But then like as the series went on, I just loved Ted. I like grew to love Ted, right? I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. I love him so much. Barney's my second favorite character, but like I really love Ted, and I was like, I can't wait for him to find love. Like you get all these hints, right? You get all these hints, and then like she dies. I was like, what is this? I'm watching this like no fucking way. I was so mad. I was so angry watching that. I was like, she dies? What is this? He's like, and I loved her until she got sick. I was like, no freaking way. Get out of here. Are you kidding me right now? And then like he goes back with Robin. I was like, what is this? This is the stupidest ending, because you know what it tells me? It tells me that like even though he had like this marriage with children and he was so happy, he always had Robin in the back of his mind. Like he always still loved Robin to the point where like when his wife dies, I know it's been 6 years afterwards or whatever, but they still have like this close relationship that his kids even notice it. And they're like, go get her, Dad. Go get Aunt Robin. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane. This is like the worst thing because it just makes Ted look bad. I was just like, that's terrible.
No, I haven't zoned down. I'm just listening, but I know like what she's talking about because I watched the series, and I remember the last episode pissing people off. Where I was like, no, I'm listening. I'm tired. That's it. I'm not zoned out. This would be me zoned out.
I was so mad. And then like I was looking up like, did people like this finale? Right?
No, they didn't.
Like I was searching for it and I was like, okay, people hated it.
Yeah, people
to
hated
the point
it.
where I guess like they had
the finale of Dexter. People hated that finale too. So it's like
I actually liked that one. I'm not gonna lie. I actually liked
no,
it. I didn't mind
like
that
people
one.
like hated the finale of How I Met Your Mother. So
I didn't mind that one, but I guess they hated it to where like they put out an alternate ending or finale, whatever. I ended up watching that on YouTube and I was like, okay, this is better. Why didn't they use this? This is so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dexter finale was BS. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the Dexter finale. I didn't mind it. I was like, he's a serial killer. He's not supposed to have a happy ending. What are you talking about, people? But yeah, I don't know. I was just like, oh God. I was so mad. I was so angry at that. Okay, now we can get into I'm done with my rant.
Okay, now we can get into what she was going to bring up after that little tangent.
Yeah.
of a series that's been done for 10 years.
I know series been done for 10 years and I just finished watching it and I hated it. All right, did you see this, Mara, on Twitter? Did you see, what is his name? Minute Nerd News go off on Gary.
I saw
making like a whole thread.
I didn't read the thread
of why Nerdrotic is a piece of shit. All right, that we've allowed. I like that he's like that we've allowed to operate amongst us. It's like allowed? Are you kidding? No. Who are you? The internet police? The YouTube police? Get out of here with that bullshit. He got wrecked. I just put that. Yeah. He did a whole thread, which was so stupid. And even Drama Alert like put out a tweet like Nerdrotic is like someone's trying to cancel Nerdrotic and Gary's just like, oh no. Yeah, he doesn't care. Which is something that I absolutely love, right? He put out a whole thread calling him like a Nazi and, you know, a racist, a bigot, all of this stuff. And I'm just laughing like, oh my gosh, if he's a racist and a bigot, he's like the worst one ever. Because his whole crew is like full of minorities. It's so funny. I'm just like, what the worst bigot ever. Oh my gosh, yes. My favorite is his, you could ask where he was on January 6th. I'm like, there's a 50-50 chance. Yeah. He was like asking like, where do you think he was on J6? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like,
I would be like, who the fuck cares? Oh, it's not like a day that will go down in infamy like December 7th, 1941. So who cares? I'm saying chances are, I'm like with disprove. Chances are Gary is watching Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like 50-50 chance of like winning a bet there that he was watching Lord of the Rings.
But I love how Gary was just like, my channel is under it. He put out a tweet, my channel is under attack using the quarterings photo. And Drama Alert used that too, because they had like a screenshot of this dude's tweet and then a screenshot of Gary's. Because it's so different, right? It's so different. It's such a different response than how like other big YouTubers would respond, right? If this went viral for like another big YouTuber, they would be like, they would put out like an apology or they would put out something like, I know I can do better. And Gary's just like puts out a meme, my channel's under attack.
Yeah.
With the quarterings photo. That's why I was just like, I love Gary's reaction. He's like, what's new?
Yeah, I don't think Gary has to worry about this Minute Nerd
I thought
news.
It was so funny. And then someone like one of the oh my gosh, this is a whole thread. Where are all of his tweets? Like I don't even see it. It's supposed to be a thread, but okay. No. Anyway, it was a whole thread. I don't know where all the tweets are, but like it was a whole thread, and in one of them is like a video, and Gary's wearing, and he's calling him a racist, and Gary's wearing an ISOM t-shirt, and then Ripa had to like quote tweet somebody because they're like, wait until he finds out who owns that company. Ripa's just like,
I think Gary knows.
Ripa's like, okay, normally I'm pretty good, but you know what? This one deserves a "you're retarded" tweet. Like, it was so funny. I was just like dying reading all of these things. But yeah, Gary's awesome. He's not a racist. Get the fuck out of here. Someone just wanted a little bit of attention on Twitter.
That's the reason why I didn't give him attention, because what some people purposely do is they put out clickbait shit like this.
I think it's interesting though. This dude, when I saw the tweet, I think he only had like 800 followers. He didn't have a lot of followers. So I'm just like, how did his tweet go so incredibly viral to where it has 4.4 million impressions? Like, what the hell? You barely have. When I saw it, he didn't even have like 800 followers, and his tweet went hyper viral. I was like, what? Mega viral. I was like, what the heck? How does this happen without like? I don't know.
I have 12 times the followers, and I don't get that many likes. So it has to be. I'm guessing bots, because you can like pay for bots to like your tweets.
He did go private for a while. Yeah, he did go private for a while, and I saw that he did start deleting tweets. I think Price of Reason. Let me see if I can find that, because Price of Reason did like a pretty good. Where here it is. I reposted Price of Reason. Because yeah, he went private for a while. I think he went private because he started deleting a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. But Price of Reason put this out recently. A mysterious ex-user posted a thread attempting to demonetize Gary, and I wanted to share some info about him with you. Grayson doesn't have too many followers. He had significantly less before posting about Gary, yet his post was miraculously amplified in a way that doesn't seem fishy at all. Yeah, like it was crazy I was like, what the heck? How is this dude going crazy viral? You know, it reminded me of like those random She-Hulk tweets that would go super viral. That's what this reminded me of. Because like I remember when She-Hulk was out, like all of those crazy random tweets would go incredibly viral. And I'm like, why is this going viral? You barely have a following. How is your tweet going so viral? How is it so massive? Like it didn't make any sense to me. In addition to shilling for anything Disney and MCU, Grayson always seems to love it when people show up in Washington. So he's just showing all this stuff. Showing how he was pro-Trump being meh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
And he also claimed that close friends were working on Deadpool and Wolverine, and he's just starting to delete stuff now. See, he's starting to delete posts that he's finding. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Wanda's attorney.
Gross. He responded to a tweet that seemingly encourages the whacking of Nerdrotic. I heard we was whacking that weirdo. Let me get my see, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's just some fucking crazy person online. But those are the ones that freak me out the most, like the crazies. I'm like, why? How did
they're the ones that tell us to go out and touch grass? Meanwhile, they have the mental issues.
Yeah. I don't know. I was reading the whole I read the whole thread and I was just dying laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
dying laughing. Did you read it?
No, I didn't. But I didn't interact with it because sometimes I will give assholes like that attention while I'll quote tweet the retardation, but then other times I'm like, I'm not giving this shithead attention because that's what they're looking for. That's what they're looking for. Even if it's negative attention, that's what they want, basically. And I don't do, and I just like don't do it. So
it's so funny. All right, I just thought we'd touch on that because
I'm thinking like basically.
I thought that was so funny.
Leading tweets and if he's leading tweets, then he was. I wouldn't say he was getting ratioed, but he was getting his ass handed to him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yeah, he did the whole thing of like, let me put out this thread attacking a big YouTuber. And then put out a tweet like, I'm now going to be blocking all of these Nazis and bigots. And then put out another tweet like, oh, I must have like I angered a lot of Gary's following. They're just proving my point. And it's just, dude, you attacked a YouTuber with a whole fucking thread. What did you think was going to happen? People are defending him, saying he's not a racist bigot,
he
which
knew
he's
exactly
not.
what's going to happen. That's why I said basically
Yeah.
it's click farming, basically interaction farming. That's what he wants.
It was so funny because that's what he was accusing Gary of. He was accusing Gary of, like, you know, of hate mongering and and hate clickbait, all that stuff. And that's exactly what his post was doing.
Have you heard of Saul Alinsky? Basically, rules for radicals. Mm-mm. Basically, like, you know, without going into all the rules for radicals, it's basically accuse the other side of what you're doing. Pretty much, that's what they do. They accuse the other side of exactly what it is they are doing, and he knew exactly what was going to happen when he did the thread. That way, once he was attacked, he could play the victim. They want to be a victim, so what they'll do is they'll poke the fucking bear and then act surprised when the bear retaliates, and then they play the victim. That's what they do. That's why I don't interact with them a lot, because I'm like, I'm not going to give you that satisfaction of being the professional victim you want to be. You tell me to go touch grass, go get a fucking life. I've touched plenty of grass.
All right. Oh my gosh, Just Bruce says my favorite is when he said Gary's audience was all MAGA. When his channel goes out to across the world, we're all MAGA though. Yo-Yo's Dodo, I watched the new Deadpool, wasn't a huge fan. Interesting. Let's talk. Wolverine was the only real actor in Deadpool. Let's talk a little bit about. We're gonna talk a little bit because we didn't have our stream last week, so we didn't get to discuss Deadpool and Wolverine. Mara, what did you think about it?
So I overall very much enjoyed it, mainly because of the interaction between Deadpool and Wolverine. I think Ryan Reynolds, like, you know, say what you will about his performance as Deadpool, but I think they do have really good chemistry, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, as their respective characters. So basically, their back and forth is, like, I think ultimately what carried the movie, because the plot itself, I don't agree that it's convoluted. I think they tried to do maybe just a little too much when they were introducing some things. My biggest issue was the villains, if you want, like, you know, so to speak. Basically, they were kind of a little one-dimensional for me, like one-dimensional, and almost lackluster. But otherwise, I enjoyed the chemistry. I loved the cameos that they, like, you know, that we saw in the movie. And I basically nerdgasmed quite a bit. Especially at the end when I was telling you basically, like, you know, like what really, like, you know, one of the parts that made me nerdgasm near the end of the movie. So I don't know if we're gonna go into spoilers or not.
His shirt just explodes off his body.
I almost screamed in the theater.
Hold on, I actually put out a reel.
This one little thing happened. It's not anything big, but it was like one of those things where it's like, because of what I grew up on watching, and when it happened in live action on the screen, I almost screamed in the theater.
Hold on, wait, I have to show you this. This is Mara in the theater. Hold on.
I mean, that's one of them, but
Mara in the theater.
I'll fully admit it. I was like, when that happened, I was like Deadpool, like, how many packs is that? 8? What? That's
that part was nice. Was nice. It was very nice. Like, there was build up. There was build up to that, because Deadpool was like, he doesn't take off his shirt anymore because he's let himself go, and then at the very end, the shirt just comes apart.
Daniel Stewart, you are really close. It's a combination of when he put the iconic mask on, and when you saw him do the Wolverine jump. I call it the Wolverine jump in the iconic costume.
Oh yeah,
when they're fighting all the in that scene. When he did that, I was like, yes! I almost screamed in the theater, because I was like, I grew up watching the X-Men series. So when you see that in live action with the iconic suits, and then he puts the mask on, I was like, it's like that.
Mara's like, that's all we wanted.
That's all we wanted. All we fucking wanted.
All right, so I've talked about this a bit, not a lot, but a bit. I enjoyed the movie. I went and saw it twice. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think the TVA stuff was pretty crappy. Having like two villains in the movie.
That's why I said made them one dimensional, where it's like lackluster. You don't really. It's like you're supposed to care that he defeats them, but at the same time you're like, I don't care. Like
like the inciting incident was kind of dumb because it's set off by the TVA agent who is impatient. That's his motivation. He's impatient, which was pretty dumb. And then the Cassandra has a deal with the TVA and they backfire on the deal. So now she's angry. Like they try and kill her. So I'm just like, okay, well, she's evil because she can be. She can be in the void and use her powers unchecked. Like that's it. She's just evil because she can be.
Like that's why I say like Cable. I know Cable in the second one was not a villain. He was more of an antagonist, but he had depth where you could see where his motivation was coming from.
Right. Yeah.
With her, it's like I'm just going to choke you because I want to. Sort of situation. Okay, I want to feed you to this like this big demon thing that's coming at us because I want to. Like that's it. That's her motivation.
Yeah, like I can do it because I can, and I want to do
Megatron Gambit.
I thought it was kind of dumb. The fact that they separated Deadpool and Vanessa was so unnecessary. Why did they have to do that? Right? So his motivation, kind of, in all three movies now, I want to be with Vanessa, right? Because at the very end, when they're trying to save the multiverse, like I'm Vanessa, I want to see Vanessa. Like like that's always his driving motivation in all three movies. Why can't they just be together, right?
That's like another thing.
I thought that was kind of dumb that they drove them apart. It was unnecessary. If you want to give him
he was
motivation,
I would have preferred her sticking by his side.
Yeah,
like, we're going to get through this basically. It's like like she's supposed to be his rock essentially.
Yeah, like if you want to give him if you want to give him like the same motivation, linking back to Vanessa, then knock her up, maybe, right? Like I want to have my little Deadpool family or something like that. Like knock her up, a new motivation, right? Something different. But I liked it. I didn't mind it. All of the cameos were pretty cool. They were really, really fun to watch. Channing Tatum just was
I think he stole
was the best. I was like, when I saw Channing Tatum, I was like, no freaking way.
But even with the CGI looking a little bit off, I was like, that's what Gambit's supposed to look like. We're gonna forget that little thing in X-Men Origins. No, that's Gambit.
The costume, the accent, the fighting style, everything for Gambit was perfect for Channing Tatum, except the fact that it was Channing Tatum. He's too bulky and too short to play
a little bit, but I love seeing him in the iconic costume. Basically, that's what got me.
I think he's just a little too short, and he's too short and too bulky. Like he's got muscles. He's supposed to be very tall and lanky. Like that's Gambit. But other than that, like he was perfect. He ate that role. Okay, he ate that role, and it's sad that that's the only time he's ever gonna be Gambit. But they made it happen. I like that he said like, I think I was born here. Like I don't remember anything before this.
Because there's Blade, Elektra, and Gambit. They're like basically the rebels that like Deadpool and Wolverine need to find while in the void. And I do love the fact that Blade says I'm the one and only Blade, which is like dig at like the MCU basically. I did appreciate that. I loved Wesley Snipes' return. But like they're going over like basically like how they ended up in the void, and Gambit's like, I think I was born here.
I think I was born here. I don't remember anything before waking up here. That was really funny. I think I was born here.
I did like Deadpool like wanting subtitles when Gambit was talking.
But it was perfect. It was so
yes.
It was so perfect though. It was so good. It would be great to get a Gambit movie. You know what? It would be great. It would be great, but I don't think we're ever gonna get a Gambit movie.
Probably not at this rate.
Yeah,
I don't trust the current Marvel states right now to do. any justice to Marvel properties. So, I mean,
If
so they knew not to touch Deadpool. They at least knew not to touch that. But I don't trust them with anything.
there is a little complaint, right? Like Ryan Reynolds has come out and said, like, I can't believe we got the rated R rating, all that stuff. If I actually after I watched it the first time, and when I went to the theater, okay, look here, I'm gonna be a little sour. Okay, I'm gonna be a little sour right now. I watched it like on a Thursday, one of the first showings of Deadpool and Wolverine. So I was surrounded by the people that bought their tickets like months in advance, right? Everybody was so excited. And during the movie, like just the hype of the crowd was something that I haven't really felt in a long time going to a movie. Even like the more current like Marvel, right? When I go watch a Marvel movie, the crowd is just like really quiet. There's no hype for it. There's no hype for it. You could feel the hype. Like the hype was definitely with the crowd. During cameos, you know, all the Wolverine cameos, which were spot on, perfect. During all of that, during or not the cameos, all the different variants of Wolverine, and then all of the cameos of all the people when they started coming, like Chris Evans and Elektra, Blade, Gambit. Like the crowd went wild for all of them. Like it was crazy. I haven't been in a movie theater crowd like that in a while. So
I even enjoyed seeing the X-Men characters, because like Sabretooth was the actor from the first movie, and then Pyro was the actor from the second movie. So I'm like, I'm enjoying seeing those guys back.
They all came back, and so like it definitely made the movie more enjoyable watching it with a crowd like that. Because the second time that I went and saw it, the crowd was more muted, right? Like it was probably their like second watch or something. Like that's how it felt. You could tell who's was watching it like for the first time because there were like some audible gasps from a few people, but like the crowd was just sort of laid back, more chill than like opening day, right? So when I was watching it the second time, I was really like paying attention more closely to the movie, and I forgot where I was going with this. And I was able to kind of like recognize that, you know, the plot and how like I didn't really like it. I was able to kind of like really think about how if I'm watching this in a way to where like when they're showing all these cameos and nobody's doing anything, whereas like the first time everybody was like excited for the cameos, right? It was like a movie pause for an audience reaction in a movie. So it made it like really awkward when like people really wouldn't do anything. So like I was thinking like, okay, so if this goes on streaming, I'm watching it at home, it's not going to be as enjoyable, right? But like I can't remember what was I going to say. Oh my god!
We have all this.
It was like a thing that was like bugging me in the back of my mind when I was watching the movie, and I can't remember what it was anymore. Oh my gosh, it's gonna bug the crap out of me. It's gonna bug me because it was like the one thing that I didn't like about the movie. Oh, I remember. So after I watched the first one, I went home, watched the first and second Deadpool movie, and then I watched this one. The first and second movie felt like super organic and very Deadpool. This one, it felt like your mom gave you permission to cuss for the first time. You know, like you can have a 1-day cuss pass. You can say whatever you want and do whatever you want.
Yeah, because it's 118.
And you won't get in any trouble.
Yeah.
That's what this movie felt like on second viewing. And this is me being really sour and sort of like, you know, going into this and like really, really just being hypercritical of it. That's how it felt my second time watching it. After watching the first and second Deadpool movies like back to back and then going and watching the third one. It felt like mom gave you permission to do this so you can do it. Because there were at times I was like, dude, why are you saying fuck every like 15, 20 seconds? What in like fuck this, motherfucker, fuck. And I'm just like, you can go a minute without saying fuck. Like it really did feel like mom gave you permission to do this. So you can do it now. So they're like taking advantage of it. That's kind of how it felt. Like the first two, even though the second one wasn't as good as the first one, but they still felt like very organic and very like very Deadpool, right? They felt very Deadpool. Like, we can do whatever we want and nobody's really going to say anything. Whereas in the third one, it still felt very Disney, very Marvel. Like, we have permission to do certain things, but you can't go too far because there's still going to be kids in the audience going to see this with their, parents, right? Because you can take kids to see a rated R movie. The parents just have to be present, I guess. So you can't take it as far as you have in the past, but you can still like, you have a limit, right? We're gonna let you do this, but only up to a certain limit. And like, that's how it felt watching it like the second time. So it was still really good. I still had a lot of fun. With it, but it still felt a little bit like a little limited. And I feel like because it was a little bit limited, right? That's why they're kind of like pulling in, even though it's beautifully done. I like it. That's why they have like a bunch of like appearances from all of all the cameos, because like if you have like all of these cameos, you're gonna get all that nostalgia. You're gonna forgive a lot of the faults of the movie. You're not gonna notice them because your mind is just filled with the euphoria and the bliss of seeing all of these old characters come back, right? So you're not gonna pay too close attention to like how different it is from the first two Deadpool movies. Does that make sense?
Well, that's what I said. Basically what made it work for me mainly was the chemistry between the characters. Because like plot wise, I'm like, I don't like the fact that they brought in the TVA because that connects it to the MCU. Yes, I know Disney bought it, but at the same time, it's like they did not need to bring that in. Pretty much, like there could have been like another way, like another reason where Deadpool would have had to be standing against Cassandra, pretty much. But they had to connect it, and like basically, yeah, we're gonna let you do this, but we're still connecting it to our timeline of sorts, basically. So this is like you have to work within these parameters, sort of a situation. Yes, it's not called the Sacred Timeline. Yeah, so I did like the.
I did love it. I had a lot of fun watching it, but like it's just that second rewatch after watching the first two Deadpools, I was like, I couldn't ignore that. Like it was something that was in my mind. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of different. It has a different feel.
I was gonna say something. Like you brought up like the different iterations of Wolverine, and I think my favorite one was the comic book accurate Wolverine, because Wolverine is supposed to be like only 5 feet tall.
He's like 5'2" or something like that.
He's short. Like he's like really short. And like Deadpool's like, oh, aren't you just the most adorable comic book accurate?
I love he calls him a short king.
Short king. I did laugh at that.
Yeah, that was really good. Called him a little short king. I like that. I like it. I mean, it was good. It was good. I had fun with it. I love that they had oh my gosh, I can't remember his name, like Nick something. He's an Instagram dancer. They had him play dance pool. And so he's the one that does, the bye 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 dance at the very beginning, which is really cool. I love that. I love that. All the different variants of Wolverine were awesome. All the cameos were really good. So I mean, and you know what? It's just the friendship and the chemistry between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Like it just carries the movie. Honestly, Hugh Jackman carries this movie because he gets like 2 or 3 incredible speeches and bitch outs, right? So like 2 or 3, maybe like 3 or 4 actually, speeches and bitch outs. Cause there's parts where like it's right before they start fighting in the car. He like, he chews out Ryan Reynolds. It's such a great scene. And Hugh Jackman like plays it so well. And it's so different to anything that like we've seen from Wolverine, because this isn't the Wolverine that we're used to seeing, right? It's a different one. It's a variant. Something else happened to this guy. It's a different Wolverine. So it was interesting seeing how he played that different variant, that Wolverine character. And he was excellent. I loved Hugh Jackman in this movie. It was great. He was really good in it. By far my favorite character was Dogpool. Like I love Dogpool. I love that he wore like those glasses that made his eyes extra big.
Yeah.
So
Mary Poppins,
Mary
aka
Poppins.
Dogpool.
He was so good. I loved Dogpool. His tongue just stuck out. Doesn't matter. His papa. His papa. Deadpool just like trying to figure out a way to get his papa out, just out of here.
Yeah.
Gone. And he ends up murdering him. I loved Wolverine was just like, he died a hero. He died for murder.
Like, you really are God's perfect like idiot. Like he looks at Deadpool, like, you really are God's perfect idiot.
I love Dogpool. I love like really ugly dogs. Like I love ugly dogs. Like I find them so precious and endearing. I don't know why.
I love when he tried to escape with the dog, and like he turns and like this like the corn maze is like corn is like dense. He's like, oh, I tried.
All of the Deadpools that come out, it was pretty awesome. I knew Blake Lively was going to play Lady Pool. Like I knew it. I knew she was going to play Lady Pool. And then what surprised me though was Matthew McConaughey.
He was the
he was the cowboy. Yeah,
I was like watching this going, I'm recognizing this voice. Where is this voice from?
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. It was so funny, like watching him when they're doing the one take fight scene. Yeah. His Deadpool was just running. He kept running away. He died like right before they.
He tried running through the bus. He's pushing like other variants like towards Deadpool and Wolverine. He's trying to escape, and he gets
he dies right before they bust through the back of the bus.
Yeah.
So his daughter played Kid Pool, and I love the fact that they gave Kid Pool water guns. She's shooting water guns. that was adorable. And then Ryan Reynolds' baby played Baby Pool.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that Baby Pool popcorn bucket is the creepiest thing I've seen.
Popcorn bucket?
Yeah, they have a Baby Pool popcorn bucket. It was creepy
enough having it be Wolverine's mouth going like.
Yeah, I love that one. That one's good. But like the baby one was really creepy. And I saw like a few reels of people who were so excited to have like their little Baby Pool popcorn bucket. They're like, this is the best one I've ever seen. It's the best popcorn. I'm like, that is creepy as shit. I don't even that is creepy. I would not want that. That is a creepy one. Yeah. But okay. So speaking of Deadpool, let's go here. Deadpool and Wolverine box office breaks a huge R-rated record previously held by Passion of the Christ. Deadpool and Wolverine,
yes, Daniel, like
the highest grossing R-rated movie in North America. The previous record holder was Passion of the Christ. This movie is almost at $1 billion. I think the last time I saw it, it was like at 750.
Even before the weekend was out that it debuted, it hit the $100 million mark.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's insane. And a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, boom, Marvel is back, ladies and gentlemen. Marvel is back.
This is not Save Marvel.
Deadpool has done it. It has revived Marvel. Marvel is back.
I love saying those tweets. I'm like, no, it's not saved. This is just a breath of fresh air amongst a sea of shit. Much.
It's so funny because I remember seeing those tweets and, people having that same opinion after Spider-Man Homecoming, right? Was it Homecoming? With the third Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Everybody was saying the same thing. Oh my god.
No, Homecoming was the first one. Then Far From Home was the second one. Is it No Way Home was the third?
No Way Home? Was it No Way Home?
I think it was No Way Home was the third one.
The third Spider-Man movie. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, Marvel is back. This is awesome. Marvel's back. They're reviving Marvel. This is great. This is awesome. Marvel's back. And then just shitty movies after that. Like, I think that is what this is because Robert Downey Jr. is cast to play Dr. Doom. Look, everybody's so excited about this, right? Bring back Tony Stark. Bring back Robert Downey Jr., you can't get me excited about it. I'm not excited about it. About it. Like this.
And Dr. Doom doesn't remove his mask. If they're going to be comic book accurate, Dr. Doom does not remove his mask. Do you think Robert Downey Jr. is going to allow that? I mean, I love Robert Downey Jr. as an actor, but you think he's going to allow that? To be his face covered the entire time? He's Dr. Doom?
No. So they had to get rid of, Kang Dynasty. We're getting rid of that. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Marvel is like totally admitting their L. right? They're totally doing it. They're saying we messed up. We're moving on. And now they're back because they brought back Robert Downey Jr. Honestly, like they should have cast someone else, not Robert Downey Jr. Like you cannot fool me, all right? You can't gaslight me into saying like we brought back the Russo brothers. Remember Endgame? Remember Endgame? Remember Infinity War? They brought you those Avengers movies. Remember Civil War? Remember Captain America? Remember Winter Soldier? Like we're bringing back the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr., your favorite Marvel character, Iron Man himself. All right, we are bringing him back. You can't gaslight me into liking this. I don't like this decision. If you're going to bring back the Russo brothers, that is cool. Bring back the Russo brothers. I think they did an excellent job on Winter Soldier and even Civil War for what it was. I think it was good. Infinity War and Endgame, I love both of those movies. So like, yeah, bring back the Russos, but get someone else. It doesn't have to be a previous Marvel character. It doesn't have to. You don't have to bring back Robert Downey Jr.
No, it's just a reeks of desperation, and chat will hate me. If you actually think about the plot of Winter Soldier, it's just a plot of. It's just basically the plot full of conveniences. They move the plot along.
I don't think it. What's funny is that Robert Downey Jr. said that like he wouldn't come back unless the Russo brothers came back. So that's why they brought back the Russo brothers. Because Robert Downey Jr., it was in a Variety article. I read that in a Variety article. It said that he wouldn't come back without the Russos. It doesn't reek of desperation for me, honestly. It doesn't reek of desperation. It reeks of like the lack of creativity. Like we can't be bothered to go and find someone else to play the character of Doctor Doom. All right. We need to make some fast, quick decisions for Comic-Con, and we need to make them, a huge announcement. Okay. We have to continue to build off of this momentum that is Deadpool and Wolverine, right? People are hyped for more Marvel. They want to see what's next. We have to continue with the momentum of Deadpool and Wolverine and have a great Comic-Con. Okay. Who does everybody love the most, right? In Marvel, which Marvel character do people love and respect the most? Well, there's Steve Rogers and then there's Tony Stark. People want them back. Let's just pick one and bring them back. And Robert Downey Jr. was the one to bring back. And I think that is so ridiculous because kind of like the Deadpool movie, they're baiting on they're playing on your nostalgia. I love Iron Man. I love his whole arc. I love Tony Stark. So you know what? That means that I'm going to love the character of Doctor Doom as well, even though we don't even know how his Doctor Doom is going to be portrayed, right? Just because we love the character of Tony Stark, everybody is just completely fawning over this decision. And
that's what I'm saying. It's like it reeks of desperation. And like I said, Doctor Doom, if they're going to be at all comic book accurate to the character, he does not remove his mask. You do not see Doctor Doom's face. Like he has the mask on, you do not see his face. You bring in a big name like Robert Downey Jr., you think he's going to allow that even when he is Doctor Doom? I don't see that happening. So it wouldn't exactly be accurate to the character. And two, this is the current, like we're in the current state of Marvel where do you at all trust them to do the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom well? Pedro Pascal as Reed?
Reed Richards for the Fantastic Four.
As Reed Richards. I don't know the actress that well to say I can say that she would be a good Sue Storm. I don't know. The only actors I
don't mind the casting of a Fantastic Four.
Okay,
I don't like Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
And I think that he looks too old to be playing Reed Richards. Like that's the only reason I don't like his character or his casting as Reed Richards. He just looks too old.
Especially like I know Johnny Storm is the younger of the two, the Sue Storm, but look at his age and Sue Storm's age, and then look at how Pedro Pascal looks as Reed Richards. He looks too old in comparison.
He's almost 50. Yeah, he's 49. He's almost 50. I don't know. He looks too old to play the character.
The only actor, like the casting of the Fantastic Four that I know, performance wise, that like I think he would do a good job based on another performance I saw him in, was what's his name? I can't remember the actor's name, but he played Eddie in Stranger Things.
No. Is it that Wolfheart kid?
No, Eddie.
Hold on, wait. I don't watch Stranger Things.
Him, Eddie Munson.
Steve Harrington? Eddie Munson?
Yeah, look at this.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, well, you didn't watch Stranger Things. So I'm saying, like, I'm basing it off of his performance. He did a really good job as Eddie. Like, he can act.
So who do you want him as?
No, he's been cast as Johnny Storm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, am I speaking Swahili? He's been cast as Johnny Storm. Like, that's the only one that of the casting of the Fantastic Four that I know. And I'm like, okay, I can see that casting. He's good. I can see him as Johnny Storm. And you're like, that Finn Wolfhard kid? Like, no, that's not.
I was so lost. I was like, wait, what? I don't watch Stranger Things, so I have no idea. I had no idea who you're talking about.
And I was like, no, Eddie.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Marvel's back. And I honestly don't think that they have earned, just because they put out one good movie that people are going crazy over. I don't think they've earned any goodwill from fans, right? Because they've just put out, crap. They've given us crap for years. For years. There was a whole phase of crap. I don't think that they've earned any good grace from fans because they honestly, they've just been giving us shit, telling us that we need to love this shit that they're feeding us, or we're toxic fans. We're attacking the show that they put out, and you should be grateful that we're putting out these shows, right? So, and one show in particular was built around hating toxic fans, which was She-Hulk. So no, I don't think that Marvel has earned any good grace, from fans. We'll see what happens from here on out. Will the Captain America movie be good? Will Thunder,
Brave New World, where it makes absolutely no sense makes absolutely no sense for Falcon to be able to even wield the shield because it's made out of vibranium, which is incredibly dense, heavy metal. And the only reason Steve Rogers was able to wield it is because he had the super soldier serum in him. Did they give it to Falcon? No, they didn't. He just got the fucking shield, but somehow he's able to hold it up. And they call it Brave. And they call it Brave New World, which is a dystopian novel. By the way, like it's not supposed to be a utopia.
What's his name? Harrison Ford was just fucking
as Thunderbolt Ross. Harrison Ford
Ford at Comic-Con just made me laugh. I was on TikTok looking at reels of Harrison Ford answering questions at Comic-Con. He could not be bothered. He wasn't taking it seriously at all. Like at one point, he refused to answer an interviewer's question because he took it as he's like, "Oh, that's a Han Greedo type of question. I'm not going to answer it." Like, no, I'm not going to answer it. Like he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care.
No, he's a point where it's like he can afford not to give a fuck. He's never really given a fuck, pretty much.
I want me some of that. Like, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. But you know what tells me that there's no changing Disney Marvel, right? There's no changing because what's her fucking face? What's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis? Jamie Lee Curtis had to come out and apologize because they asked her at I think it was at Comic-Con. Was it Jamie Lee Curtis? Oh my gosh!
Jamie Lee Curtis, because she tweeted out an apology.
They asked her what phase is Marvel in right now, and she said
bad. Yeah, it is in the bad
apologize phase. And call Kevin Feige and apologize. I'm like, what is going on? Right? Marvel is now where before it was reported in Variety or Empire. I can't even fucking remember. It was being reported. Remember that graphic that showed Marvel and its stock and characters falling down this red arrow at the bottom. Remember that graphic?
Yeah.
Right? That whole article was about how they have a workshop that they go to every March or something like that. There was every year they go to a workshop and the morale is usually high because they ride on a high at Marvel, we can do no wrong. Well, the morale was very low because they're at a low point and they know it, and they're trying to figure out a way to, like, you know, climb out of that low point and make, you know, get people excited for Marvel projects again. That's where you're still at. Okay. You're still there. People still don't trust you just because you have this one good movie that people are excited about and actually watching.
And it's really only tied to Disney because Disney bought the rights to Deadpool. That's pretty much it, because this is a movie that's basically been in the works before the deal went through, essentially. So it's like, just because it's like one good movie, which Disney had nothing really to do with.
Now all of a sudden they're thinking like, oh my gosh, we're even the execs are probably thinking like, yeah, we're back. And no, like her having to issue an apology and calling Kevin Feige to apologize to him. I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, she's right. Marvel is in a bad fucking phase. They're still bad. That's why they're bringing in Robert Downey Jr., the Russo brothers. They're completely changing their whole Avengers plan because it wasn't working. So they're they're still bad.
And yeah, like the bad taste of what happened with the actor who played Kang, still still lingering essentially. So they had to get rid of Kang, and now they're bringing in Dr. Doom, and it's like, and then she limited replies. Basically, she turned off replies, so no one could respond to her.
I was like, you shouldn't have to apologize. You're not wrong. Like, she was not wrong. And then Ryan Reynolds, like, also, he like quote tweeted her and he's like, does everybody have to apologize? Like, I thought that was pretty funny. Like, I think that it sounded like he also thought like, why are you apologizing? It doesn't make any sense. That's what it sounded like. Like, there was no reason for her to apologize for that. It was so stupid. Let me read a couple of these member messages and super chats. Stunning and Brave Megatron. Hello there. Member for 33 months. Steph, is your Red Hood figure breakdancing in the background there? No. All of my Red Hoods are... Oh, that one. No, he's not breakdancing. He's holding his sword. Yeah. Biggles for 2. Ted was a piece of shit. Hey, no Ted slander. I didn't like his character up until like maybe like... I don't know. The last like 3 seasons, I grew to like Ted. Mr. Bentham for 5. How I Met Your Mother's ending was horrible. Honestly, I really like Victoria for Ted, but he was just so hung up on Robin. I didn't like Victoria. I didn't even like her for Ted. I didn't like her. Mike Hill for 5. The Cavalrine versus Wolverine. We didn't
talk about that little cameo.
Yeah, the Cavalrine versus Wolverine. Who's your money on? Ooh.
Wolverine. I got to go with Wolverine.
Well, they're technically both Wolverine.
I know, I'm going with Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I'm going with Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I
love the way they say it in the movie too. The Cavalrine. Like, we will treat you so much better than those shit fucks down the street. That was so funny.
Yeah, that they get a kick out of.
Mr. Bentham for 5. They lost all goodwill from the fans. They need to make good movies for about 5 years to win any credibility back. Disney Marvel did this to themselves. That's what I think too. Like, I think people are getting ahead of themselves and like, oh my gosh, Marvel is back. Excuse me. This one good movie does not mean the whole fucking franchise is back.
No, definitely does not.
Like, one good movie doesn't forgive years of crap. Right? Let's see what comes out next, and we'll see if Marvel's back.
Agatha's next. Remember,
right? Agatha all along is coming out soon.
Yeah.
Is Marvel back? Well, we're about to see. Psychotic Mongoose, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I know Disper is probably going to have a great time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I hope you review it. I think I'm going to review Agatha. To be honest, I missed out on the Acolyte. I wouldn't say you missed out. Like, episode by episode, but I didn't. So I'm going to review episode by episode of Agatha. Agatha will kill it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think he will kill the
speaking of
Marvel. So
speaking of the Cavalrine, Zack Snyder responded to Henry Cavill's Deadpool and Wolverine cameo. He said, well, Henry is an amazing Superman to me. Obviously, I hired him. I wanted him to be Superman. So any coins left on the table are unfortunate, and in that way, it would be great to have more Henry. I always think you could have more Henry. But he said for the cameo, he said, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard about it. It sounds fun. He didn't respond to what they said about the studio down the street, right? Meaning DC. He didn't respond to that, but I like that they asked him about it.
So
I like that they asked him about it. It sounds fun.
So
it was good though.
I mean, say what you will about him. He has I guess some tact. And he's like, I'm not going to respond to the whole, basically, shit talking about DC, even though they deserve it for what they did. I'll just say it sounds fun seeing Henry Cavill as Wolverine, which is I did enjoy, like I said, that little cameo because of like Deadpool's reaction. He's like, yes, this is a Wolverine I need. Like he's walking up behind him, you don't see his face, and then he turns around and he's like, oh, Cavalrine.
The Cavalrine. I like that he did like the double fist thing from Mission Impossible.
Yeah. He does that. I mean, it's like
he did the loaded fists.
Yeah. It does this.
Chris Evans. Which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah. Chris Evans declined cue cards in Deadpool and Wolverine. When he was doing like at the very end, I don't get to say dialogue like this because like he didn't need cue cards. He memorized that. Did you stay for the end credit scene?
Yeah, I did. Because they basically like straight up said before the movie came out, there's going to be an end credit scene. So I'm like, okay, I gotta stay. It was like they said there would be. So and like he like it's basically like where it's like Deadpool gets vindication essentially.
Yeah, he gets vindication. He said it was he talks about how he approached it, how they called him to be in the movie. It was a couple of years ago, and I got a text from Ryan. We're buddies. He just said, listen, if you don't like this idea, no worries whatsoever, but I have something that could really bring the house down and will let you play a character from your past. I mean, honestly, I would do anything Ryan asked, Evan says. He gave me a great cameo in Free Guy already, and I trust him completely. Yeah, his cameo in Free Guy was really funny. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen Free Guy.
Yeah, I liked his cameo. He's like, what the shit? When he brings out the Captain America.
When he's like watching, it's like, what the shit?
Yeah. So the chance to be Johnny again, I couldn't pass up. I loved it. It was fun to shoot, fun to watch, all of it. Ryan was like, listen, if we need cue cards. And I was like, cue cards? I'm showing up off book. I don't get to say dialogue like this. Trust me. I'm going to enjoy every second of this. Memorized.
And it is some dialogue.
Yeah, it
is some dialogue.
Listening to him say it, like I was like, holy shit. Okay. I love that he says like I don't get to say dialogue like this. Like he's very limited in the stuff that he puts out. So he's like, I need to do it. I'm gonna memorize it. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, that dialogue was pretty spicy. It was very spicy.
So can't exactly say it on the stream, but like you have not seen the movie, like you have to wait until like the credits end because there's like that scene that he's talking about.
And I love that like when he was talking about it. Oh my gosh, Submariner just said it. I love when he's saying all of those things, his Brooklyn accent just comes out.
Like it comes out basically. Yeah, just full on. Just I'm like, yeah, you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, his Brooklyn accent just completely comes out. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Did it surprise you that he was Johnny, or did you know that it was going to be Johnny?
I didn't know it was going to be Johnny. I wouldn't say exactly it was a surprise because I was like, there's no way they bring Captain America into this just because like like he wouldn't have gone into the void essentially. There's no way they would have done this. But you're gonna like hate me, like judge me, chat. I completely forgot he was Johnny Storm, and I had seen those Fantastic Four movies basically. And like when he said Flame On, I was like, oh yes, he played Johnny Storm.
I was shocked honestly because the same as you. It's been years since I've watched those Fantastic Four movies that like I look at Chris Evans and I just think Captain America.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, there's no way they brought Captain America to the void, but like Deadpool was like, yes, like he's waiting for the Avengers Assemble, like to come from Chris Evans, and then you hear Flame On, and I'm like, just
my mouth dropped. I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot about that. Like when he turned into Johnny, I was just like, holy crap, I totally forgot. because I was assuming he was Steve Rogers, just like a different version of Steve Rogers. I was waiting for him to like take off his robe and reveal which Steve Rogers he was.
Yeah.
I was not expecting Flame On. Like I wasn't expecting that. So that sort of like that got me. That really did get me.
Yeah.
So it actually, you know what it did? It made me want to go back and rewatch those Fantastic Four movies, which I did.
I remember overall enjoying the first one, and the second one was like a step down from what I remember watching. But like I said, it's been a long time since, because the second one is Rise of the Silver Surfer. But they bring the Silver Surfer character in, and I was like, yeah, it was should have only had one movie.
Well, see, I think I liked those movies more than other people because I was always like, I was very DC. Like, I barely read any Marvel.
I watched a lot of the Fantastic Four cartoons. I knew the characters.
I didn't.
Yeah, I watched. Didn't. I knew the characters. Not at least like well enough like from the comics, but I knew them from growing up watching the cartoon. So when the movies came out, I was like, okay, this first movie's decent. I mean, it's not exactly great, but it's decent setup for the characters. And then the sequel happened, and I'm like, how did you get this wrong?
Yeah, see, from like, you know, cartoon, I watched a lot of DC cartoons, so like Superman, Batman, and the only thing from Marvel that I watched was the X-Men animated series. Like that was it.
I watched Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men.
Didn't watch it. I think that's why I enjoyed it a little more. Like I still kind of was like, but I think I enjoyed it more than other people did. So now I'm watching it. And I'm like, but
yeah.
But when I like on first watch,
like Chris Evans was a good Johnny Storm. I will give him that.
I like his Johnny Storm.
He was a good Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
And even the what's the actor they got to play Ben Grimes? He was the main. I think he's the main character in The Shield.
Yeah.
He was good as Ben Grimes when he became the Thing, so he was good. I think like the overall casting was decent with performances wise. It's just they did not get the stories. They did not like well.
I like the guy that they got to play Doom. I actually liked him.
Oh, that's his name. He was in Charmed, wasn't he? The actor they got to play Doom. I want to say he was in. Yep, Michael Chiklis. Yeah, Ben Grimm. Yeah, that he and. I want to say the actor was he played in Charmed. He was like a demon or something that like Phoebe falls in love with. Like they get together. Maybe I don't know if you ever watched that show.
I don't know what that show is about. I don't know.
Julian McMahon, thank you. I know him from Charmed, not Nip Tuck, but I know him from Charmed. But that guy. All
right. One last thing that is associated with Deadpool. Wesley Snipes breaking a Guinness World Record with the character of Blade. There's only one Blade. There's only going to be one Blade. He breaks two. Yeah. He set 2 records for the longest Marvel character career, which was Hugh Jackman up until he took the role, up until Wesley Snipes appeared in Deadpool Wolverine. So like he was the longest running character. And the gap between appearances in Marvel movie with his return, Blade, he reacted to it. He said, "What? Really? Do I get a certificate too? Lordy, lordy, lordy."
Yeah.
Thank you, Guinness World Records. I'm your fan.
I love Wesley Snipes' reaction to things, pretty much.
I need to follow Wesley Snipes on Twitter. Like, I need to follow him on Twitter. Lordy, 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 lordy.
Oh, okay. I have to ask you: have you finally seen the Expendables movies past the first one? Because he's in the third one.
Which one?
He's in Expendables 3.
No.
Okay, because there's he actually.
I'm to be 100% honest, Mark. I never went back to watch the movie.
No, because if you watch the third one and all watch the third one, he does make an inside joke that's against him essentially, or at least like something that happened to him in real life, pretty much, but he makes a joke about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In that movie, and I'm like, that fucking works. That works.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to tell you what the joke is because I
Uh-huh.
want you like to actually. I don't want to
Okay.
see if you remember what happened to him, then you'll get the joke. So
Okay. Yeah, I never went back and watched those movies. I just watched the newest one, loved it.
you still killed me with Barney just flies the plane. I nearly died at my seat.
I don't watch those movies, Mara. I watched it for you.
I know, but you need to watch the director's cut of Expendables 3. The theatrical cut is not that good.
Okay. You know who's having a really bad weekend? I feel so bad for him. Like,
oh yeah, we were talking about this backstage. Yeah. In this case, I do feel bad for him because this movie, like I said, it should not. I don't expect it to do bangers at the box office, but it should not be bombing.
It's bombing so bad, though. Like it's embarrassingly bad, Mara.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi's new comedy movie becomes another post-Shazam box office disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, Zachary Levi is playing Harold from Harold and the Purple Crayon. He's Harold all grown up. If you don't know what Harold and the Purple Crayon is, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I loved Harold and the Purple Crayon. Yeah. It's such a cute little adorable book series. I actually have all of the books together in like one novel in the garage, like stored away because I love it so much. Like I still have my Harold and the Purple Crayon. And HBO came out with like the animation of Harold and the Purple Crayon, which is so cute. I love Harold and the Purple Crayon. It's such a great like kids show. I used to show it to my nieces and nephews when they were growing up, when they were babies. Like they loved it too. And I would read it to them. Like I freaking love Harold and the Purple Crayon. I don't know. They aged him up. Now he's this guy. He still has his purple crayon. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about like I remember seeing like I was happy, right? Harold and the Purple Crayon. Oh my gosh, he's getting a movie. Okay.
But I didn't even know it was coming out until I saw a trailer right when it dropped.
The only thing I remember is seeing like the initial trailer and like that's it. There was no promotion for this movie. Yeah. None that I knew about. I completely forgot that this movie had a trailer and that it was kind of coming out. Like I think the trailer released like what 2 months ago, maybe.
I don't even know because like I said, I didn't see it until this like
there was nothing, no promotion for this.
So I did not know about it until this past week. And
yeah, like this weekend, I completely forgot about this movie until I saw this. I was like, oh my gosh, it came out. But look, Harold and the Purple Crayon is projected to earn an opening weekend gross of only $6 million. This pales in comparison to its $40 million budget.
Yeah, I like I said, I expect like if they had done proper marketing. With the number of families with little kids that weren't going to take their kids to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, like
no, I don't even think like with marketing, I don't think that this movie would have done well. On like 100%, if I'm being honest, even with marketing, that's money that like would have been thrown in the garbage because they're not going to get it back. I don't even with marketing, I don't think that this movie was ever going to do well. It wasn't going to perform well. And I think that this movie is a perfect example of Hollywood not coming up with anything new. Where did I said it this morning when we were doing our creativity stream. I said it this morning. Like I can't remember who exactly said it. If it was Vince Vaughn or if it was Ryan Gosling, but I was watching like an old interview. It was an old interview of the two. And they were like, Hollywood right now will only release things that are attached to IPs. So if they fail, you can't blame the creators, the director, the producer. You can't blame anybody that was attached to the project because it was attached to an IP, so it has a built-in audience. And if it fails, it's because that audience didn't go and see the movie. So like none of the people that created whatever they're putting out, created the movie can be held accountable for it. Hollywood will not take any risks, like, and put out original movies. It has to be connected with an IP. And this is another example of that, right? Harold and the Purple Crayon had an audience, a very young audience that are probably now all grown up, but like, but it still had an audience, and it was a successful show on HBO. But like, and so they're like, okay, if it was a successful show on HBO, let's put it out, right? And maybe some people will come and see it. It's an IP. It's something that we can make a movie off of instead of like creating something different, something new. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
And I don't think that this movie was ever going to make money.
I think.
Oh my gosh, Soul Assassin. Okay, it was Vince Vaughn on Hot Ones. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it was an old interview, but like, yeah, I don't think this was ever going to make money. I just feel bad for Zachary Levi. This makes me feel terrible for him because it's like the guy can't get a win.
Yeah,
like
I just remember like the only trailer I saw is like, you know, that creature that's flying on the air. It's like, I want one. That's like strangely cute. Like the creation like he makes with his like purple crayon, and it like becomes real, like his pet.
Well, like the idea behind it, like it has his little moose friend, his little porcupine friend here, right? The movie concept, like you could do this, but don't make Harold a grown man. Why are you making him a grown man? He's a literal toddler. He's a toddler in a onesie, and he's like using his imagination and his little crayon to draw whatever he wants and bring it to life. He basically here's how it goes. Harold's mom is putting him to sleep, and he's not ready to sleep yet, right? He doesn't want to go to sleep. So he grabs his little crayon and he has this little adventure, right? He draws whatever he wants. He goes on his little adventure. He has like little side characters that are always there, like the moose and the porcupine. He has all of these little characters with him all the time. And then when he's done with his adventure and his creativity, he finally gets tired and he goes to sleep. That is that Harold and the Purple Crayon in a nutshell, right? Get a kid to play Harold. Why are you getting a grown man to do the Harold? Like, it's so stupid.
When I saw the trailer, I thought like Zachary Levi was like playing his dad or something. I didn't realize he was like the kid grown up.
He is. I think he's the kid grown up. He's Harold, all grown up, still like with this infantile mindset and using his magical purple crayon. It's so stupid. Why would you make him a middle-aged man? Like, it's not endearing. It's not cute. Just keep him a child. I think they should have kept Harold a child. Then it would be like more of a children's movie that you can take your kids to see. But like, they aged him up to be a middle-aged man. I think it's so stupid. So weird. It's so freaking weird. But yeah, this movie is failing at the box office like crazy. I cannot believe that. What the fuck? $40 million budget and it only made $6 million.
Yeah.
Like, that is just
Speaking of hot ones, did you see any clips of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds on Hot Ones?
I watched that whole episode. I love Hot Ones.
I love it. Ryan Reynolds, like, you know, like his mouth is hurting so much that he like reveals like, I cheat at Wordle. I don't know why. I don't know why I just said that. Yeah. He just broke under torture and admitted he cheats at Wordle.
Yeah. I don't know why I said that. Yeah. I like when their mouth is so hot that they think the ice cream has chili in it.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman's like, does it have chili in it? Like, no. The guy's like, no, I promise you it does not.
Excuse me. So since I went away for a little bit, I have to say Pimp Raid. I bingo. Spirian gifted a membership. Thank you. Drew Dat Underground with a $3 super sticker. It's the little corgi. How's it going? Hi. Hello. And then Drew Dat Games is a member. Thank you. So now he has paranoid delusion. Like, that's what it seems like, right? But
I didn't realize he was Harold grown up. I thought he was like his dad or something. Like, basically,
no, he's supposed to be Harold grown up.
Like, basically the kind of like how do I put this? like supporting the imagination sort of a situation. That's what I thought from the trailer. Like that was the case where it's like I'm gonna like support my kid and his imagination, like let him like like do this.
No, hold on. Let me pull up the trailer again, because if I'm remembering correctly, Harold. If I'm remembering correctly, he's Harold. Oh wait, hold on. I have to share it independently, or else we won't have sound. Okay. Reach him up. See, it's him. He's still in his pajamas.
I don't remember this in the trailer. I don't remember this one. I don't remember this being the trailer I saw in the theater. I don't remember this being the trailer I saw in the theater.
He's still in his onesie pajamas. Look. They show him as a baby. He's in his little onesie pajamas.
And he aged up in animated form. That's
This wasn't just animated. Why? Exactly. They could have just made a Harold and the Purple Crayon animated movie. That they should have just done it like that. They didn't have to make it live action.
Of characters.
He's still in his. Made the black man the moose.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that. Like I said, I don't remember this part of the trailer.
They made the black guy the moose.
Yeah.
Look, he's still in his pajamas. Oh my gosh. I need to. Yeah. I need to check it out. Mara, you gotta sail the high seas. Send me the link.
All right.
What?
I wanted a pet like that amalgamation of like different like creatures. The flying one.
Oh. Did he use the crayon to age himself? That would make him a toddler. And today, maybe he did. I don't know. But I think it's dumb. They should have just made it an animation movie. What the fuck?
With no ID references, like any type of background they can look into at all, because they came from an animated world to this world, so they have nothing. Like, okay. I know, like, you suspend disbelief, but I'm like...
Fake ID. Demogeni! Hi, Demogeni, for 2 pimp raid. Hello, beautiful ladies. Hail, chat. Thank you for the pimp raid. WB Steph. I'm so happy Harold and Purple.
You still need references. You still like every minimum wage job I held. They wanted like a couple references so they could like do a little minimum background check on you to make sure that you're not completely crazy.
It should have. Did he draw his resume? It should have been an animated movie, not a live action movie. That is terrible. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. Okay, so recently Vince Vaughn. I feel so bad for Zachary Levi though. I feel terrible for him. Like, why are you taking these projects? What is going on?
I'm like, you shouldn't be at your point. You shouldn't be at the point in your career where like you accept anything just to get a paycheck. Like you should not be at that point already.
I wonder if he was thinking like, oh, maybe this could be my Jaws 4 or Jaws the Revenge, right? Like Michael Caine, remember? Yeah. He's like, this could be my Jaws the Revenge movie. Like, oh,
no, that's not a good comparison.
I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Feel bad. I feel bad for him. Vince Vaughn recently went on Hot Ones, which I really like that show. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. I really like the Hot Ones. He was on an episode of Hot Ones, or I think like the most recent one, and he explains why R-rated 90s comedies went out of fashion. He said they just overthink it. You get these rules. It's like if you did geometry and you said 87 degrees was a right angle, then then all your answers are messed up. They would say something like, you have an IP. You have to have an IP. Oh my God. It was Vince Vaughn who said it.
I was going to say, like, you had the tab open and you couldn't remember who said it.
I could not remember who said it. It was Vince Vaughn who said it. You have to have an IP. So for some reason, Battleship, which is a game we used to play like a graph, became a vehicle for storytelling. It's so weird. Whereas an IP like John Hughes from our neck of the woods, right? An IP was a girl turning 16. Every girl turned 16. I'm going to cut school, life situations. Those were their IPs. That's original storytelling, right?
Yeah.
But now you have to have an IP, an actual IP. It was Vince Vaughn who said it. I swear to God. I think that, what's his name? The other guy said it too. I think the other guy said it too because they asked him a very similar question and he answered it the same way. You have to have an IP. They both said it. They both had the same answer. But yeah, they both said it.
Yeah.
Because I remember like watching it and they both had like similar answers. That's why I was always going back to. Wait. Yeah, it was Vince Vaughn. It was Vince Vaughn. I was right. Hold on. Yeah, it was Vince Vaughn. I was right. What am I talking about? I don't know. I'm a goldfish. It was Vince Vaughn. I said
really
it was Vince Vaughn, right? Because I was like, it was either Vince Vaughn or Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, you haven't. I don't know. I haven't watched all the episodes of Hot Ones. You apparently have, but you can't remember that you have an article pulled up that Vince Vaughn is answering that question. And you're still like,
full disclosure.
Really?
Full disclosure, I didn't read this before pulling it up. Okay. I just saw it and I was like, oh, that sounds like a good discussion. Let's see what it's about. Steph's a little confused, but she's got the spirit. Thank you.
I'm a little confused. He is me, and I am you. That's the level of confusion from Steph right now.
I know. I did say Vince Vaughn or Jake Gyllenhaal, so it was Vince Vaughn. It was Vince Vaughn. I was so confused, confusing myself. All right, I am me. Who's on first? What's on second? Damn it. Yeah. So it was Vince Vaughn. Yeah, he's saying that you have to have an IP. It's 100%. You have to have an IP. There's creativity anymore. You can't make original content. You can't make anything original anymore. Gotta have an IP attached. Yeah, I think it was. He goes on to say like, nobody gets in trouble. There's no fault. Oh my God, it's right here. He said the people in charge don't want to get fired more so than they're looking to do something great. So they want to follow a set of rules, which somehow, like it's set in stone, they don't really translate. But as long as they follow them, they're not going to lose their job because they can say, I made a movie off a board game. Even though the movie didn't work, you can't let me go. But yeah.
Well, the thing with Battleship is like, it's literally a strategic game where you try to sink the other person's battleships, pretty much. There's no aliens or otherworldly creatures that you have to fight. So it's like that was so basically like, they're not following the rules necessarily. They're adding something to that movie. The only movie that's ever worked based on a board game is Clue. That's the only movie that's ever worked that's based on a board game, and that's Clue from 1984.
What about Ouija?
Well, Ouija is not a board game. It's something that like you don't want to touch necessarily.
No, it's a board game. They sell it like it's a board game.
But technically, it's not a board game.
A Ouija board.
Yes, it's not exact. Technically, it's not a board.
Didn't they make a movie called Ouija?
Yeah, they made Ouija, and Ouija: Origin of Evil, pretty much. So,
I've never seen Clue.
So, Jumanji worked. Yeah, Jumanji worked. Okay, two technically. Clue and Jumanji worked. Everything else has been like they did not follow.
But was Jumanji a board game before the movie though?
Yeah, I think it was as a board game. So
because Jumanji board game, I remember the Jumanji board game after the movie. Was it a board game before the movie?
So they're saying yeah.
Oh, it was? I didn't know. They're trying. Yeah, I know they're trying to do a Monopoly movie. And I think they're trying to do like a Game of Life movie too. Jumanji was a book first. Okay.
So it was an intellectual property before the movie came out. So like that's like only the only other things I can think of that where it worked. Mario, well, that's not a board game. That's a video game. So we're talking board games. Clue and Jumanji were the only ones that worked. All right, Battleship, technically a board game, did not fucking work because they did not follow the rules necessarily because it's a game where it's like literally you're just trying to sink the other person's battleship. That's it.
Was Adam Sandler gonna make Where's Waldo? Was he? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, but yeah, that is Talk Nerdy. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, Mara. That's all the topics that I have.
Mhm.
That's it. I pulled up a bunch. Didn't read the last one because I was shocked. But anyways, we had a good discussion.
Yes.
We had a good discussion. And you know what it's time for?
Oh my god. Please. All right. What's
the time for, chat?
What guessing thing do we have to do now?
No, Mara.
Is it outros? I don't know. You like sometimes bring up weird shit from us to watch.
No. Oh, I didn't pull up any weird shit.
All right.
I honestly couldn't find anything to annoy you. I couldn't find anything. I showed you Wolverine's abs.
What?
It's time for House of the Dragon.
Okay. All right. I'm like, I don't know. Like you bring up weird shit sometimes, and like that you make me watch. So I'm like, is it the weird shit or the outro?
No, it's not. It's not weird stuff. Although I did, you know what I did find? I did find a new. Oh my gosh, I looked it up earlier. Hold on. Let me go to my history because what was it called? I had to look up a new thing. It's called. Hold on. I was watching a video and I was like, "What on earth is this? Slugging."
I mean, I know what the act of slugging is, but what did you look up that is slugging?
Well, because I was watching a YouTube video. Okay, because I was getting ready. I was like, doing my makeup, getting ready, and I was listening to this girl. Her name is Kendall. She does all of these like. You don't know her channel. Like nobody in this chat knows her channel. Okay, but I was watching Kendall, a Kendall video, and she was doing like a stupid TikTok video. Like she was comparing two generations, and she learned about slugging. It's something that like Gen Y and Gen Alpha are doing. It's like part of skincare, and I was like, what the hell is slugging? I had to look it up.
I'm wondering that too because slugging to me is when you knock a bitch out. Or
no,
you slug,
I had to look it up.
Slug, so it's like, or you're down in the drink. Slug it.
What's on Steph's search history? Just a lot of stupid shit.
But I'm like, what about skincare?
Yeah, I had to look it up because I was like, slugging? What the hell slugging? Slugging is actually something that I do. I didn't know it was called slugging now. So it's a part of your skincare routine at night. I need to look up some TikTok videos because I think that that's a good topic. But I want to see what other people put on their skin. But it's basically like when you take a very thick emollient, and it's like Vaseline or CeraVe or like something that's like very very oily, and like that's the last thing you I don't put on a lot. Like I just put on like a very thin layer, but it's supposed to like seal in all of the skincare that you use, and it's supposed to like promote fresh looking skin, right? Plumpy skin.
So basically
hydrated skin.
So
I do it. I have very
slugging is just adding a moisturizer to your skin routine.
No. I add like very thin. It's a very specific moisturizer. Okay, it has to be like a thick emollient one, like a super thick one. But slugging is when like you basically put like a thick layer. Like it looks dirty. Like it looks almost nasty. Like it looks like it's something else on your skin.
Bukkake is poggers.
I was like, oh my gosh, that is unhealthy. That's not good for your skin. You shouldn't be putting that on your skin. Like I do it because I have like really dry skin. So I put Vaseline on my face at night, so that way, like my skin doesn't dry out overnight. But that's why I do it, so that way, it's moisturizer for me. But they put like they take a thick amount and like they put it all over their face, and I'm looking at it like, oh, that does not look like it's supposed to. That looks dirty.
Yeah, no.
Oh my gosh.
And I had moisturizer like the end of my skincare routine before I go to bed, but I'm not going to look like I just was in a bukkake ring.
I like the way Steph says
thick, like a thick.
All right, there you go. I taught you something new, Mara.
Yeah. Like I said, me growing up, slugging was basically just knocking a bitch out. Like everything was like slugging was.
I taught you something new. All right, now we're done. Mara, what do you have going on?
This week, I dual stream on Kick and Twitch. Monday and Tuesday, playing some Gears of War 3 to see how far I can progress into it, see if I can finish it this week or not. Wednesday is the worldwide weird news that kind of like morphed from another stream, pretty much, that we cover weird shit worldwide, or weird stuff in the news has happened. So basically go through articles. So basically people have a reprieve during the week from all the cringe that we see in pop culture. I cannot stream Thursday or Friday, so I'll basically be taking those days off essentially because I have to get up early the next morning. Saturday, I don't know if I'm going to stream or not because my siblings are talking about doing another siblings hangouts again, playing Pacify. So it's 50-50 right now as far as streaming on Saturday. But yeah, there's the streaming schedule coming up. And at some point, the closer we get to Rings of Power, I will be back to doing videos because I will be tearing that season 2 apart. So,
Mara, do you fridgescape?
I really don't want to fucking know what that is.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm not a prude, but I'm like, I don't want to know what fridgescaping is.
I'll send you a reel.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I know she will.
I'll send you a reel. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good night. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week on Mara's channel.
On my channel.
Bye, guys.
Yep. Bye.